Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Just Keeks, here with a brand new video. I know it's been a while, had a lot of stuff going on in my life, but as you all know, about almost 2 weeks ago, Netflix finally dropped season 2 of their live action Avatar Last Airbender series. And if you're somebody who's been on this channel for a while, you know I did some episode reviews of each episode of the first season when that came out. This time I'm doing something a little different. I was going to do a full video review analysis of the whole season, but I decided to break that down into separate videos, and so this one will be the first part of that. So in today's video, I'll be getting into the one mistake that I truly feel that Netflix made with Toph's characterization in the live action series. So with all that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the video. So, in season 2, we are finally introduced to the live action version of Toph, played by the actress Miyako, who does a phenomenal job in the role. Now, everything you would expect Toph to be is there. The sarcasm, the tough as nail, the sort of tomboyish attitude. I think in the beginning, when this season went into production, there was a lot of people who were kind of worried because they said they were adding like a little more feminine qualities to her. And I think I realized what they were talking about, and I'm gonna get into that in like a different video, just not this one. So everything about Toph pretty seems on point, and of course, a lot of people have some complaints, as people do. So I want to go over one of the main complaints that I've seen people like talk about with her and how she is in the series and stuff like that. And then I want to go in and what I think is actually the real mistake that Netflix made with her characterization. So let's get into that. So one of the biggest complaints I've seen people have with Toph is in her introduction during the Earthbending tournament, which a lot of things would change around here. There's only like one fight between Toph and the boulder, and they're not like on this like massive ring that's way up high. It's more like lower to the ground and everything. It just kind of built up a little bit, you know. Kind of think of it as like almost like a sumo wrestling ring, although there's no sumo wrestling going on, of course. Um, and one of the complaints people had is in these close-up shots, it looks like Toph is using her ability to use Earthbending the Sea um, by being on sand. If you watched the animated series, the OG, you would know that during the episodes where they're in the desert, Toph says that she can't see in the sand. It makes everything kind of look wavy and blurry, distorted, sort of. So it messes up her earthbending blind vision abilities. Um, so people saw this and it looked like, yeah, I agree. It looks like, she's fighting in sand and all that. But guys, if you pay attention to the scenes before, you can tell that this is not a sandy arena. It's completely solid, and yeah, it might have a layer on sand on top, which, in my opinion, I think like it's sand-like, but most likely what I think it is I think it's like from like the Earthbenders fighting stuff, the rocks breaking apart. It's the leftovers from that and everything like that. That's personally what I think it is. But yeah, a lot of people complain about that. Which, like I said, if you pay attention, you can tell it's completely solid ground, so it doesn't totally mess up everything. And then again, to me, the whole not being able to see the sand thing doesn't come up, so there was no story point for it. But now I want to get into what I think Netflix messed up on, and that is getting rid of Toph's ability to tell when somebody is lying.
What?
So, once again, if you're a fan of the original animated series and you watch all of it and you know a lot about Toph's character, you know that in the OG series, she had the ability to tell when people were lying. This was sort of what's what I'm looking for here. Another part of her like using earth bending to see ability, since she can feel vibrations, everything. She can feel the vibrations of people's heartbeats and stuff, so she can tell the slightest changes in, their heart rhythms. I think fucking Daredevil from Marvel Comics, it's within that line of thing, right? And there's a couple times in the show where it came up and it was really handy to use. One instance would be when they discovered that Jet has been brainwashed by the Dai Li. All right, and it was a very interesting ability. Sometimes people believe she had it or not. She tried to use it to convince the Earth King that uh, Long Feng was lying. Doesn't come up. Doesn't come up in the live action series. Sorry, I just knocked something over. Doesn't it? It doesn't come up. It doesn't come up. And the thing that really bothers me about it is not the fact that they got rid of it, they don't mention anything, is that there are several instances where it almost feels like they're gonna bring it up. Um, One would be like everybody's kind of like keeping secrets from everybody and everything. Another one would be like when they go to visit the Earth King, they try to convince Long Fang is lying. Now I think it would have gone in a different direction than it did in the series, because if you watch the live action series, you watch this new season, you probably can figure out what I'm talking about and why it would go in a different direction. That's topic for a different video. Um, but what really bothered me, the main reason it bothered me that they got rid of it was during this particular scene right here. So in this scene, Toph has met up with her mother and Bossing say, um, her mother and father had sent the boulder and their handyman or whatever after her, and after appearing in like one episode, they just disappear, and we go to Bossing Say, we see all this stuff going on over there. And then, she gets the leather. And of course, if you're watching the show, you're like, well, that's probably just the Boulder and that other guy, like how they did it in the original series with those two characters and everything. Not the Boulder and this guy, obviously, but the two characters that were in the OG series, or Zinfu and the other guy, the Earthbender announcer and the Earthbending teacher at that school that Aang had gone to for like 5 seconds. Um, So you expect it to be this trap, right? When she gets caught in the metal cage and all that, and they take off her and all that. Well, no, instead, Toph's mother is actually in Ba Sing Se, right? She's she's in Ba Sing Se, and Toph actually goes to meet her after having a fallout with Aang, Katara, and Sokka after everything basically blows up in their face with the Earth King and all that. Um, she finally goes to meet up with her mother, and she's having this like heartfelt conversation with her, and she thinks that like she starts to kind of believe that her mother's gonna let her do what she wants, and at this point they're drinking tea and stuff, and we see that Toph's mother has two like tea kettles out, right, two teapots. They've been drinking from one, and when Toph finally tells her, I'm staying, I'm not going home, she switches to the other teapot and she pours Toph a drink with that one. Toph drinks it, and we come to find that she had been drugged, to make her sleepy, and it knocks her out. And I feel like the only reason they could get away with this was by getting rid of Toph's ability to tell when people are lying. I feel like that's the only reason they got rid of it. And it seemed like it was an afterthought because, like I said, there's so many situations that come up where it feels like she's gonna say something about this. She's gonna say, "Ah, I can tell people are lying," it doesn't come up. She gets drugged. Um, she still gets trapped in the metal box. Her mother puts her in a metal box. Mother of the year right there. But yeah. So, anyways, that's it for this video. I know it's kind of short. I do have a lot more to say on the season as a whole, and I will be getting into that very soon. I think the next video I'm going to do is going over my opinions on what I going over what they took out, um, like the swamp, the drill, the guru, um, and my opinion on all of that. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Uh, Click like if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment down below what you thought of the series, the season in general, and I'll see you all next time. Love you guys.